CookTech always brings us a lot of very practical and flashy power banks. There are high-capacity backup power banks as well as low-capacity emergency power banks. There are high-power and low-power ones. Oh, sorry, there's no low-power ones because the main selling point of CookTech's products is high power output. Today we are reviewing one of them as well. The full power output can be up to 210 watts. CookTech's latest 25,000 medium power bank right here in my hand. We still don't know the price yet, but from the overall look of it, it shouldn't be very expensive. It also looks the same from the packaging. Unlike the other 210 watt power bank, which comes in a flashy box, inside the box, besides the power bank and manual, there are two cables, a 3.3 foot long C2C cable and a 1 foot long A2C cable. This cable was customized by CookTech and it is very important for this power bank. Let's keep a small secret for now. I will tell you later about why you should keep this cable safe. The CookTech power banks we have reviewed before all look like small pillows. Obviously, they want us to stand them up. This power bank can also stand up, but keeping it lie down is the correct way to use it. Really, CookTech has made a power bank that looks very ordinary. Although it's from the Performance series, it looks a lot more understated. No display, no transparent case. You can only tell it's from CookTech by the gray case and the blue logo. The 25,000 medium capacity is written in a very prominent place and is one of the main selling points of this power bank. It can fill your iPhone 15 Pro Max or Samsung S24 Ultra about 3 times and a MacBook Pro about once. The best thing is that it can be taken on airplanes. It has a button on the side and by tapping it you can see the 7-segment display showing the remaining battery level. Like its brothers, double-click the button activates low current mode, which allows you to charge devices that don't support high power input such as earbuds or smartbands. All the charging related specs are written on the other side. This is the CookTech 25,000 medium power bank, a high capacity power bank that focuses on practicality. Like the CookTech 20, it has 3 ports, 2 USB-C ports and 1 USB-A port. The Out1 port has a maximum output power of 100 watts. The Out2 port is 120 watts and the Out3 port is 45 watts. The maximum output power of all the 3 ports at the same time is 210 watts. The Out1 port should be the one that we use the most because it has a complete charging protocol and higher power. In addition to fast charging for various phone brands, it can also charge laptops. It supports up to 90 watt real charging power for the MacBook Pro when the screen is lit. The large capacity allows it to be used as an emergency power source for laptops without any problems. The Out1 port is also the In-1 port, and the maximum input power can be up to 100 watts. Charging tests were conducted using a 140 watt PD charger, and the measured input power easily exceeded 80 watts. Charging started with 5% remaining power, and it charged to 23% in 10 minutes. A full charge took 80 minutes. Temperature control is very good, even not as high as the temperature of the phone that is running games. It's not the first time that Out2's USB-A port has appeared in CookTech's power bank. As you might have guessed it, this port is meant for Xiaomi users. Thanks to this port and that A2C cable you just saw, the Xiaomi 13 Pro or 14 Pro in your hand can finally have the 120 watt charging via a power bank. Since Xiaomi's 120 watt charging protocol needs the support from special cable and a connector, the Out1 can only activate at 100 watt instead of 120 watt charging. So I'll say it again, don't lose this cable. Buying another one is quite expensive. If you don't use this cable or charge devices other than Xiaomi, it doesn't provide as much power. So if you want to charge a device other than the non-Xiaomi device, but the Out1 is already occupied, try using Out3. Out3 is also a Type-C port and the charging protocol is exactly the same as Out1. The only difference is the power. Out3 only has a 45 watt input and output power. In fact, due to the charging protocol and the cost, most of the devices around us have an input power of less than 45 watts. Charging with this port is actually no different from Out1. As long as you don't need high power like a laptop, you don't need to decide between Out1 or Out3. We've done some compatibility tests along the way which you can watch at the end of the video if you're interested. Unlike the previous CookTech 10 or 20, CookTech didn't have a code name for this 25,000 medium power bank. So if I were to give it a name, I would call it CookTech 17. It has a higher total output and more battery capacity than the 15, but is a bit lower than the CookTech 20's single port output power, and is not as fancy looking. As long as it is reasonably priced, then it must be one of the best power banks available. Alright, I'm Will from China. See you next time.